Planning, 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 PDD scanning, keeping planners planning, ICAPS. Uncertain durations, truth ramifications, wishing FF was by my side. My soft goals there are kissing, my landmarks have gone missing, my stubborn set has turned off the light.
Hello viewer and welcome to ICAPS Musical Entertainment, an historical perspective. I'm your host Lee McCluskey. We started there with a clip from ICAPS 2013's most influential paper talk, with Jorg Hoffman airing the first known performance of the now famous ICAPS theme song. This year we planned real live community generated entertainment for ICAPS, with a call for entertainers and subsequently a flurry of delegates volunteering to make spectacles of themselves live on stage. Unfortunately, we'll just have to do all of that online. Now, for those new to ICAPS, what kind of entertainment did ICAPS offer in the past? Well, you have two chances. Firstly, you have the opening reception, and that may typically be in a big boat or in a museum or up a big wheel, and you have the local mayor's welcome. Typically, there'll not be enough food to go around and there'll be too much to drink. And then a couple of nights later, you'd have the conference banquet. But usually what passed for entertainment there was lots of awards given and lots of backslapping. If we look at the timeline of ICAPS, we'll see firstly that we have split it into three periods. We have the prehistory years when ICAPS was actually just APES and ECP. There was a lot of entertainment around in those days, so I do remember a mock fight between two Scottish Highland warriors at the Conference Hotel on Edinburgh's Golden Mile during APES 1996. And that was very scary. Then as we move into the 2000s, we have the Anorak years. This was when the international planning competition dominated proceedings. The IPC chairs would come down with scintillating graphs after the conference dinner. They'd show us their charts and tables, telling us whose planner was faster or slower than everybody else's. But then, around about the 2007-2008 mark, ICAPS starts to provide its own entertainment. And it's my guess that the pioneer of this was Space Telescope scientist Mark Giuliano. Here's Mark on how ICAPS emerged from those Anorak years, giving all the credit to his well-travelled guitar.
One of the things I can tell you about this guitar, it's been seen in a couple different locations. In Providence, Rhode Island in 2007, where I sang Reaction Wheels Keep On Turning to Proud Mary. And in Sydney, Australia, 2008, this guitar was seen where I sang Once a Jolly Programmer to Waltzing Matilda. I know it was there in Salonika in 2009, in Toronto in 2010. Not sure what it played there. In 2012, of course, we did the blocks from the Ipanema.
Fortunately, we have no visual records of those early performances until ICAPS 2012 in Brazil. Let's hear more from Mark about the background of that and of his choice of a bossa nova sound.
In 2012, I flew into Brazil 3 days early and spent 3 days in Rio. I stayed at a beautiful place, hostel, that overlooked the bay, had music next door in the Parque de Ruínas, and there was music and nightclubs down the street. But the best thing is I found a organization which gave music lessons to travelers, and I took some lessons in bossa nova and salsa sound. While I took the lessons on the piano, which is my native instrument, I had this guitar with me and really got the beat into my fingers.
So as luck would have it, Mark was primed for that first banquet performance. Here he is again on the choice of that tune and the development of the planning-related lyrics. And after this clip, we'll see the live performance from 2012.
But coming back to the blocks from Ipanema, I knew I wanted to do a bossa nova. and the Girl from Ipanema is the second most recorded song of all times. You know, I just recently heard that on the internet, and everything you hear on the internet is absolutely true. So I had the concept of using blocks from early papers, you know, early planning papers, and thought 3 blocks would need to be stacked. I seem to remember meeting Lee about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours before the banquet, and we worked out lyrics. I think there was a third person who worked on the lyrics with us, but I'm not quite sure who that is. Thanks for listening, and it's nice to be back.
This is a tale of 3 blocks that want to be stacked on one spot. So they came to ICAPS to be moved. So we can move 3 blocks. What about containers, ships and trucks? Times and resources, they count too. But what about scheduling? Oh, we need more applications. Please, we don't need no relaxation. Just leave my deletes alone. Just leave my deletes alone. This is a tale of 3 blocks that wanna be stacked on one spot. So they came to ICAPS, and now they've moved. And now they're moved.
Well, Mark didn't receive a great deal of tuneful support from that ICAPS chair. Bit of a lack of rehearsal there. Now, at the start of this perspective, we saw the first public airing of a snippet of what was to become the ICAPS theme to the tune of Rawhide. And after that rather tuneful performance, Georg Hoffman emailed myself and Mark Giuliano in early 2014, saying of that verse, "The audience was smitten with it. I propose we join up and perform the whole song together at ICAPS. Lee and I have been talking about making an ICAPS band all along. The time has come to act." Well, act he did, and during ICAPS 2014, the ICAPS 3 was formed, with members Jorg, Christian Muse and Mark Giuliano. Sadly, I couldn't make it that year. I asked Chris Muse how he got involved, and most importantly, did they all have time to practice beforehand? And how could they prepare at such short notice?
How did I hear about the ICAPS 3? Well, I think it was maybe a couple of weeks before ICAPS in 2014. Jorg reached out saying he wanted to play a little music. Could I bring an instrument along? And so, I obliged and I did what I could to bring what I had to the table. How much practice did we have? Not so much at all. I mean, Jorg invited us up to his room at the hotel there. I think maybe a half hour after the poster session, we might have spent 20 minutes going over the chords, going over what we were about to play. But it was a pretty quick practice before we had our debut performance at ICAPS. How could we prepare in such short notice? Well, for years and years I've been preparing to play with Jorg. I mean, studying the inside of Fast Forward Planner and making sure that I truly understood how his mind worked inside and out. And it was essential to be able to play music with Jorg. I mean, you need to be able to understand how he plans, right? So I think I've been preparing for years before we actually played music together.
Christian Muse there explaining the background to the ICAPS 3 with a mesmerising series of cap changes. So, let's see the whole uncut version of the ICAPS theme performed after the banquet in 2014 at Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
soft gold they're kissing, my landmarks have gone missing. My rerun say I'm doing bad. Goal, what's the plan? Plan. What's the goal? What's the goal? What's the plan? ICAPS, what are you planning for? What are you selling for? What are you planning for? What are you scaling for? What are you planning for? What are you scaling for? What are you scaling for? ICAPS!
Wow, what an evening that must have been. Here's Christian Muse again with more insights into that performance, and in particular, his mesmerising choices of headgear.
So something people might not know about the ICAPS 3, I mean, I guess you know it should have been ICAPS 4, and as many who want to join the ICAPS K, we could go up arbitrarily, but one thing is, it's really not the mandolin that I bring to the table, it's the headwear. And so the ICAPS, the cap and caps, is really not Conference on Automated Planning, it's about caps. So my caps I brought to the table, but as well as Jorg's cap. If you take a look at the video, this is the one that he was rocking that night. And so this is the one bit of insider information that you might not know about the ICAPS 3.
Some fascinating historical background there. Well, we're going to finish with 2 studio versions of the live performances. These were created by musicians round the globe independently, then composed with the magic of current media technology. We're going to start with the blocks from Ipanema, followed by an ensemble performance of the ICAPS theme. I'd like to thank all the folks who contributed to this video clip, including those people that captured the live performances shown within it. Huge apologies to any live ICAPS entertainers that we may have missed. Enjoy.
This is a tale of 3 blocks that wanna be stacked on one spot. So they came to ICAPS to be moved. So we can move 3 blocks. What about containers, ships and trucks? Times and resources, they count too. But what about scheduling? Oh, we need more applications. Please, we don't need relaxations. Just leave my deletes alone. Just leave my deletes alone. This is a tale of 3 blocks that wanna be stacked on one spot. So they came to ICAPS to be moved. And now they're moved. And now they're moved. And now they're moved.
Plan those blocks.
Planning, 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 ICAPS. Planning, 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 PDDL scanning, keep them planners planning, ICAPS. Lift a partial loader, NP hardness border, goal directed acyclic causal graph. Can get no satisfaction from merge and shrink abstraction. My neural network thinks on my behalf.
On my behalf.
What's the goal?
What's the plan?
What's the plan?
What's the
What's the goal?
goal?
What's the goal?
What's the plan?
ICAPS.
What's the plan, ICAPS? Searching, schedules are emerging. Keep that research searching, ICAPS. Nothing but frustration in my application. My no-goods are going for a ride. My soft goals, they are kissing. My qubits have gone missing. My reviewers say that I am to apply. What's the goal? What's the plan? What's the plan? What's the goal? What's the goal? What's the plan? ICAPS. What's the plan? ICAPS. Planning. RDDL scanning. Keep that cross-step planning. ICAPS. Do you still remember the times we wrote assembler? And who knows just where it all began? The Whoopers chest of treasure and the performance measure are waiting at the end of my plan. What's the goal? What's the plan? What's the plan? What's the goal? What's the goal? What's the plan? ICAPS. What's the plan? ICAPS. What's the goal? What's the plan? What's the plan? What's the goal? What's the goal? What's the plan? ICAPS. What's the plan? ICAPS.